Morning. Norman Woodstock Spalding, Bare Bones Broadcasting. Wednesday morning, just March 7th, year 2012. For anyone that might pick up this broadcast thousands of generations from now, this is how it is. The United States, from the witness chamber of Norman Woodstock Spalding, the Bare Bones broadcaster of the Skeleton Nation Network. A terminology used in this day and age that says absolutely nothing. They just throw it around as handles now and doesn't handle anything. So I throw it in too. But anyone tuning this in thousands of generations now, pay no attention to such terms. Here's what you have to pay attention to, please. Pay attention. It shows we were making an attempt. We. All of us. I represent all of us. I represent the 1,000% beyond 1,000%. In fact, I represent more than percent covers. There is a number and a measurement here. Anyone picking this up that these humans now use percent. Doesn't cover much of anything. You know what I mean? So I back up to far greater inclusion than percent. Remember that. Their 100% is about, Yep, that don't talk about living at all, let alone anyone included in it. When you hear the 100% described here, no one here does that and knows anything about that. So this planet knows nothing of those terms. Dumb. Not the 100% of anything. Got it? I speak for what is going on right now. Like it's happening. And what has to happen also from what's happening. Do you understand me? Bare Bones Broadcasting. Now then. Urgency. Now you use the word urgent. Look at Salem, Oregon yesterday. $100 million in construction contracts. How? There's no money, $100 million. There's not there. Well, that's, you know what they look at? The absence of revenue of tax money expenditure. They're expending tax money right and left right here. From federal government, most of it. Now, they think they can tax that and call it revenue. It's not revenue. To me, you get paid with the expenditure of federal tax money. You are not allowed to vote. You can't be taxed. That's tax money. So you can't be taxed. Expenditure of tax money. Now you can't vote. Somebody's going to see it that way. Want to bet? And when they don't use the expenditure of tax money to live, they'll be able to vote, and you won't, because you're in a conflict of interest to vote. You can't be taxed. You're using tax money to live with. Can't tax that. Want to bet? You sit there every day waiting for that individual or those groups of individuals to show up and take it straight out of your hand for morality and wisdom reasons. Want to bet? Logic will take it right out of your hand. Want to bet? Human living logic. You're out of place. Period. And your chant emphaticate it. Got that? You see the picture of it. That's you. Dumb. Got to get that fixed. None of the above on the ballot. Move. Every time you use the word urgent, more of them come, opportunists. Salem, Oregon, slammed over by opportunists. Mocking the process in front of everyone and grinning at them. Calling and hugging each other in success. Ha! I'll tell you, Julius Caesar about ate him when just a minute. Was it Hercules or Ulysses? Ulysses came home and caught him doing it. And living in his house doing it. What happened? Remember Kirk Douglas showing up? After facing Cyclops? And find him doing this? This is what he found him doing. Mocking the truth. I'm thinking they were funny doing it. You know who I think is coming, going to get you for that? Your offspring. They'll put two and two together and just, it's embarrassing. I think that's what happened in Germany. They weren't marched for their secular beliefs or unsecular or religious or anything, or their bloodline or anything. It was their position prior to that. And I agree the baby got thrown out with the bathwater. When doesn't the baby? Look at this thing calling crime right now. Are those all criminals? Look, the call to felon right now is the same as calling Jew in Germany. Yeah, it is. The call to felon. You're throwing people in the pen that would make a pimple on a felon's rear end. That ain't their situation or their story at all. Not their identity. You're calling them felons and throwing them in a tank. Ruining their lives. Tattooing them. Devastating their reputation. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Mm-hmm. You make this place ripe for destruction doing it. You sure do. You trash the reputation of the United States doing it. Shame on you. You're not honoring the reputation. That's not the truth. That's not so. You take the reputation as so and tie it to the reputation of the United States and trash them both doing it. Yeah, you do. For a living. Contract. Grant addict. You're addicted more than any addicted you ever fool with. I tell you, the addiction of your mind makes the addiction of the mouth nothing. Want to bet? You're sucking up the luxury, and it's really just junky old vagrancy and lazy and stingy. You wallow in it. You're gluttonous in it. You're obese in it. And staffed up. And I warn you, the tribal people were in the same shape when Europe showed up, and they marched around like dorks because they were living that way. Why did the tribal people lose? Because they were living like idiots. That's why. Yeah, and they had admitted it. They're still living like idiots to the day, and not admitting it. North American tribal people living like idiots. Yeah. Have you shared anything since long before Europe showed up? You ain't shared nothing in the tribe. No, you don't. Nope. That's why the tribe's hurt. Because they get anything, a few of them grab it and the hell with everybody else. Want a bat? Been that way a long time. Norwood Sack Falling, Bare Bones Broadcasting. Time we're going to play musical chairs. We're going to draw new lines on the floor here. First one is what you could know, what you couldn't know. Well, I can know that. What I just told you, I can absolutely affirm you, took place and is so. Squandering humanity. Thousands of generations. Big problem going on. No confession to it. Generosity has to take place. No confession about that. Want to bet? What else has to take place? Oh man, there's so many things have to happen before what has to happen can happen. Now let's talk about what has to happen so we can get to what has to happen. You know what I mean? I'll be back. Bare Bones Broadcasting. It's the Skeleton Nation. We're going to talk about what has to happen so we can get to what has to happen. Generosity has to happen. What has to happen before that? A confession that it's not going on. And where and why and all that stuff. And nobody get in trouble at all. No one in trouble. No one. No punishment at all for anyone. Got it? Planet Earth. No punishment at all. No making life miserable for anybody. And you're going to add the convenience for everybody. Then we'll see how much misery is here. What do you think? We're going to drop the price of everything and increase everybody's wages. See what happens. Nothing to lose. Huh? We're going to pay the bill on all the currencies. We're going to pay every last farthing, just like he said. I shall return.